Good morning, 7:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So thank you all for tuning in. We've got to get through this promptly. I got to get my son to school at 8:30 a.m. Then I'm going to go to the gym. And then I'll do a short at some point in between now and noon. I had a great suggestion from someone in the last couple of days. They suggested I do my update in the morning like I do. They like how I do the short midday, the live at night. But then they suggested, like, before I go to bed, you know, at my time, like 11, 12 a.m. or 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., whatever, to do a short. So then the UK viewers and anybody on the other side of the world, for me, or, you know, somebody on the other side of the world from where I live in the U.S. would be able to see the update overnight. Or the short, and then anybody who is waking up subsequently in the USA would be able to see that if they work up in, you know, if they're up in the early AM. And I think it's actually a great idea, so I'm probably going to start doing that. We'll see how it goes. But I thought it was an excellent suggestion, so that was just a constructive, not even criticism, but a constructive advice of how to maybe push the content a little bit more in different times. So I did appreciate not just the comment, but the thoroughness of somebody, you know, of going back and forth with me. So it was nice. So anyhow, let's get into XRP. As we can see, we're down 1.86%. We never lost this channel, though. So, I mean, the fact that we came down here and retested the channel and now we could possibly be starting to push back up. What I would anticipate here, we did have a healthy drop. Like, there's no doubt about that. We never filled out that target to 60 cents. So that was invalidated, and instead of coming up, we ended up having a break point, and then it ended up fulfilling all the way down. So it satisfied that move down now instead of going up. So that was invalidated, that structure. And now are we going to bounce off of here? We have the rate cut today, which is going to be very interesting. I'm going to do my best to cover it. But my son's got physical therapy at 4 p.m. tonight. So I will do some kind of an update from his physical therapy as we get more information. It's going to be, you know, about 3 o'clock when old Uncle Jerome speaks. 2:30, 3 o'clock, I believe it is. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep an eye on the markets as well. As XRP is still, it's chopping. We're chopping. We have a much bigger inverse head and shoulders. It's just a matter of, do we have to come all the way down back to the 2018 support? Now, that was resistance, or can we bounce off of here? We can bounce off of here as long as we don't lose this channel. If we lose this channel, and I suspect it would have to come if we retest like 57.7 this morning or something like that. If we're going to fall out, we're going to have to get some liquidity now, because it took a lot of strength to get down to the bottom of this formation. So I would suspect that even if it's bearish, we'd have to come up a little bit higher. But as you can see, if we were to get rejected, it comes right down to the 53.3 area with the 2018 resistance, which is now, well, I guess you could technically say it's a resistance, but it was acting as a support for this early time now. So we got that to deal with, and I'm very optimistic with the markets. Yeah, it's going to be a cluster today. I highly encourage you, as you see, gold right now is up $9.46. Typically on rate cuts, gold goes up. I can't even go back in the history to find a time when it actually went down on a rate cut. You know, overall, like after the cumulative effect was felt. And I don't see how today's going to be any different. I expected some overnight volatility. Mining stocks have come down just a little bit, but nothing major. Like even B2 Gold down at 328. It gave a sell signal at 334, so you did what you did. But it hasn't gone down that much. It's only gone down 6 cents from the sell signal. And the sell signal was just for a reconsolidation, which I thought it was going to come down just because of what I was seeing. That it could come down here if we go into the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to bounce right back to XRP because we got a lot more to talk about. I thought it could bounce down and, you know, maybe have an overzealous run down to like that $3 and retest that new psychological support level. Now, is it going to do it? I don't know. Is it setting up in a fashion where it could? Absolutely, because of the way it finished out the last day and a half or so. But we'll see how it plays out, because gold's up $11, and that's going to make it give us some upward positivity for mining stocks. So I'm not sure it's going to go all the way to 315. I'm really not. But we'll see how that goes. XRP, I'm still watching, like I said, for the morning to see if, in fact, we bounce off of this channel. Like, it's crazy, but this channel is, It's honoring it as a legitimate pattern now. Like the fact it came down here and tapped it right at about 56.94, that came down here again and held it for a third time. This is exactly what you want to see if we're going to have some continuation. Whoops, that's a little off. Okay, nope, it came down there. I just wanted to make sure that that was, because we did, this is what I'm looking at. So we've got, and this is important, support structure 1, support structure 2, support structure 3. If that gets validated as a resistance, right there about 58 cents, that means if support structure 3 comes through, but we're going to need some validation here. Now, the 45, we're right on the 200-day, but I suspect it's probably going to have a nice bounce up from the 200 to at least retest up here. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go overzealously bullish here, so don't get me wrong, but I'm saying I think we're going to have to at least come up and retest this resistance, and then if we want to come through here and work our way back down, well, that's something. But as of right now, it looks like to me, it's going to have this little upward trajectory. Not much. It might not be much. I mean, it might not be much at all. Like if I'm looking at this, we've got 11 minutes left in this 45-minute. This looks like a reversal candle here this morning. And we're going to look to close this candle over 57.35. Am I intrigued this morning would be the question that most will ask. That is an understatement. I am absolutely intrigued because I know as long as we don't give away this pattern, that yes, we put the downward focus, we have the upward focus as well, which could get us to 64.9, but because we're on the bottom side, we tend to focus more to see exactly where it could bring us if we had a breakdown. And I would suspect if we did, it'd probably come somewhere over here later on today. So I'm expecting a little bit of work to the top side because we did dump out quite a bit last night. Like if we look at it on the overnight hours when most were sleeping, that's an hour and a half, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, 12. So let's just say from like midnight. From about the midnight range, we did come down 2.3%, but over the top, we had come up to almost 60 cent area. So we'd come down about 4% here. So it's not unusual to come up, retest this bearish crossing section and region. 45-minute, I don't think that would be suffice. But if we go into the 2-hour, actually, you know what? Maybe it is suffice. Maybe the 45 is the way to look at. Maybe the 30. Okay, yeah, see the 30. So what I'm expecting this morning is a tap at 57.70 area. If it hits 57.70 and we can't get up, well, that could be a problem. But this almost looks like we're a day behind Bitcoin if this does pull up. And I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen because it could fall right through. It's so volatile. But let's say it did this. If we look at Bitcoin from just a day ago, remember when Bitcoin came down here and then it rotated up? Could XRP be in that kind of a rotation right here? Because that's how it pulled up yesterday for Bitcoin. And now one could argue that it put in a short-term inverse pattern that is a setup, like a bear trap. That's what's so fucked right now. Or excuse my friends. That's what's so confusing right now. Even though it came down, it's putting in these inverse setups. So, but you see how that happened right there for Bitcoin? Now look at XRP, how it's putting in this little formation. Are we going to get ourselves a little up? You know, are we going to get ourselves an up now? Because if we can, we could maybe do something like Bitcoin did. You see how that looks right there? That's what we'd be looking for, more of an up trajectory like Bitcoin did yesterday. But is it going to happen? Who the heck knows? Who knows? It is super volatile right now. When I say super volatile, I mean super volatile. So, but it came down to that support structure. So now I would anticipate it to, and it's not a far stretch. Like if you think it's going to be a big move, going up to 57.6 cents, that's still a big, that doesn't even rectify us being down 1.8%. That might cut it down by like 0.5%. We'd still be down about 1.3 to 1.4, well, about 1.2% on the day, 1.3%. So that's not going to reverse the bearish tendency, even if it came up like that. It's just, I'm trying to look at the most likelihood here. With what we did overnight, we do have a reversal candle showing. There is still 7 minutes, so who knows if it'll hold up. We're going to try to hit this 57.34 in about the next 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes. So that's the next thing to watch. And we'll see if it can come up there. I mean, right now it's forming like a reversal candle would in the shorter time frame. I don't necessarily think we need to pivot against Bitcoin because Bitcoin did have all that momentum yesterday. XRP wasn't in that momentous moment. As you can see in the 45, we're oversold on XRP. I have it inverted, so it looks like it's overbought, but my RSI is inverted. Just something I like to do. So it could be rotating a little bit. I don't have a lot of optimism that it's just going to fly out of here, but I do have optimism that we should retest that bearish section. So we'll see about that. If it doesn't happen and you see us break through 56.94, it's a problem. It's a problem. But we're going to need some juice to get down there, in my opinion. So I'm looking for that moment where we're like, okay, well, we just hit this spot, and now this is how it's going to go from here on out. So that's what I'm watching for in the next, in the next 7 minutes. I want to see where this candle closes. Do we close over 57.34? Right now we're at 57.37. So I'd like to see how that plays out, and then we can go from there. We know if we break below like that 56, what is that? 56.94 right now, that's very bearish. We don't want to lose that channel, but it's pretty ominous that it came through and hit that channel last night. I mean, it really is. It really is. And then the only other thing, we have this Ripple CLO names key condition for Ripple acquiring high position in U.S. crypto market. And this will help us kill some time. And then I'm going to release this as well after. So Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderodi, has taken part in Financial Markets Quality Conference 2024, where he spoke along with high-ranking representative of such crypto giants as Robinhood, Grayscale, and others. Once again, Alderodi weighted in on the current lack of clear cryptocurrency regulations in the U.S., referring to this long-lasting situation as a regulatory cloud. He made a statement that once the regulatory cloud is removed and the U.S. gets some policy clarity, Ripple will become the most trusted source for enterprise support for crypto solutions in the USA. Ripple lawyer Stuart Alderodi says when this regulatory cloud is lifted and we get some policy clarity in the U.S., we will then be the most trusted source for enterprise support for crypto solutions in the USA. #XRP. Over the last year, Ripple has scored important victories in court against the Securities and Exchange Commission, superheaded by Gary Gensler. Last year in the summer, federal judge Annalisa Torres ruled that XRP sales on secondary markets did not qualify as security sales. This largely gave the XRP the official status of non-security, and in its later lawsuits against crypto exchanges, the SEC avoided calling XRP that. This year, the SEC requested that the court make Ripple pay $2 billion in fines and also compensate the regulatory agency for the expenses and efforts invested in the suit. However, the judge stated that Ripple must only pay $125 million to the SEC. While the blockchain company initially said that $10 million would be a fair amount in this case, Ripple endorses the RLUSD stablecoin in recent posts. In a recently published X post, the official Ripple account shared its article on stablecoins, underscoring its revolutionary role in the sphere of transnational payments. The major convenience of these assets is they're pegged to fiat currencies like the US dollar or the euro. For those users who are troubled with the high volatility level of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, stablecoins combine the speed, security, and efficiency of blockchain with the trust of the United States dollar. I don't know what trust that is. As cash use declines, more are turning to stablecoins for fast, secure, low-cost payments. In 2022, the article says there was an almost $7 trillion worth of international transfers made with the help of fiat-backed stablecoins in collaboration with MasterCard and PayPal. As for Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD, launched in early August, it was designed to keep a constant US dollar peg. It is fully backed by a mixture of cash and its equivalents on a one-to-one basis. It is totally compliant with regulators, according to Ripple. So, you know, they put stuff in front of you, and the Ripple CLO, Stuart Alderodi, talking about how Ripple or XRP is going to be the most trusted source in cryptocurrency once this witch hunt is basically over, which, I mean, I can't disagree. XRP sitting in that range we were talking about. We've got 3 minutes until this candle closes, and we're sitting in that range because it looks like a small reversal candle this morning. And I'm not saying like this is going to push us anywhere parabolic, but it should get us back up to this retest area, 57.83. We seen on the 30-minute where this Deathcross happened. So I would think it's unlikely we don't go back down without at least testing this 57.70 area, in my opinion. So that's what I'm looking for this morning. I'm going to release this though, so please make sure to hit that like button. It helps us push the content across YouTube. We pop up in the news feed by hitting the like button and we become recommendable. So even if you've not seen my content or you've never heard of me, you can still be a part of our community. So make sure to hit that like button. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA or worldwide, would be a good time to start getting the exchanges right before this rate cut, just to see what happens. Video description below and our pinned comments, and on my homepage on XRP Future Millionaire, there's links to BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. They're both beautiful exchanges, the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I have in the USA, and you can trade worldwide with no VPN or KYC. That's USA as well. Unless you're sending or receiving from a bank account, then you'd have to do a KYC, which you should want to because you don't want anybody stealing your information. Consider joining Tom's Army. It would be a great way to pay it forward, or sending a YouTube super chat. Other than that, I'm going to release this. Have a blessed morning. If you made it until the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments. And remember, there are rate cuts today.